Palbas.
Harden, challenge si Harden. No!
4 points yun.
Ito na
The takeoff has to be from outside.
slam dunk ni
Ginebra, Chin King snapping. A lot of them with their heads easy. Layup right here. Not so easy.
Pero ito, si Miracle Man.
There's a cold 45.
Dondon gets by his defender.
Easy. He knew the time, and he knew this guy's gonna foul him. So fade away. You can't foul me.
That was a tough shot. But it hurt himself. But he got the shot off against Emma. Off-balance shot. Where is that science? 2 powers inside. Boy, the side step is such a magical move.
In the spark si Dondon Hontiveros.
And great defense dito. Kita mo, no? Nag-drop kagad.
Man in a spectacular move. Sos Mariosep. Maybe this is one. Hontiveros trying to get away. Victor!
Double team in the perimeter. Hontiveros, lots of time on the shot clock.
Again, Kagiwa. Jumper by them.
Dondon Hontiveros. Tumira na naman si Hontiveros!
Crossover move, fade away.
He has not lost the beat, and there's that.
Shot back on defense. Dondon Hontiveros gets the ball. Go! The ball! What's the shot?
Mind to put it and gets the glass for the 2 points.
He has been
That's carrying over. Thanks to this nice pass by Dorian Peña. And another nice finish for Dondon Hontiveros.
Hontiveros takes away.
Ang kita mo naman, napagod ang Underdogs champion. Great individual effort coming from
And Coach Hunter, here's that 3-pointer to tie this game.
Ball coming off that movement. Ito naman, one-on-one. Good shake. Going the opposite. Dondon again.
Hot shot with the biggest shot of the game.
You're going to leave a shooter open. You know, if you're at man-to-man, you can go out, open Dondon Hontiveros. Cuban came over late, tried to challenge.
9 points in the overtime.
My guest for this episode is PBA legend and Cebu City Councilor, Dondon Hontiveros. I hope you take something from this conversation. Thank you. Maayong gabi Councilor Dondon.
Maayong gabi, Mike, finally.
Yeah, finally. Dayon na ta, ani. So, it's good to see you. Mangumusta lang ko. How has work been being a councilor? Kumusta man? How are things lately? What keeps you busy?
Well, minutes ago, you've heard, I guess,
Yes.
na nag-live ko of answering ang saya gipangbuhat sa city government. Kami ni Councilor Garganera and even, especially the mayor of unsay direction with regards to certain sporting areas. And being a councilor for 4 years already, daghang kay kog nakatunan. And I'm grateful to Mayor Mike Rama. I'm grateful to Congressman Edo Rama, was then councilor on my first term, and Councilor Zafra as well as sila Councilor Esquerra kay Maugi gagayad na ako. Imagine, I became number 1. And kung number 1 ka ba, namo jud kay additional responsibility, because if the mayor is not around, is out of the country, musaka ka pagka-vice, then you'll be the presiding chair during session. So lisod jud kayo ba? If imo ko pangtan, lisod jud kayo, but grateful kay ko kay naay ni guide nako to do that, to do those things.
So your mentors, you would say, si Mayor Mike and si Councilor Garganera.
Councilor Rama, then Philip Zafra, then of course other committees, nadyo mo guide nako.
Unsa pa day other projects for Cebu? What else can we expect in the next few years?
Well, early this year, when was this? So this year, a few months back, Mayor Mike Rama asked me to make a privilege speech sa council to ask for a space, a hectare sa SRP. We all know SRP is, in a way, buragid na siya mapadong sa BGC.
Booming man south part of Cebu.
Booming,
of course.
muna siyang
Daghang developments.
Daghang developments. And nakita na nila, New Star, SM, and Philinvest, and even Sinulog. So for that 1 hectare, part of it is natay multipurpose building, natay skate park. And makaingon sila nga drawing na sadna, but for the council to agree, for the mayor to ask for that, nga intended for that purposes, I hope masabtan sa nila that it's for them. So that's one. Other, of course, is we're hosting Palarong Pambansa 2024 next year. And renovations will start. Actually, nag-start na ang pool sa Abiliana. Next will be the oval renovation. And grateful kay atong mga private schools, they have gymnasiums. Ready na sila nga mapagamit na for the Palaro next year. It's a big event. The last time that we hosted Palaro was 1994.
Regarding Sinulog, unsa ang changes or what can we expect for this coming Sinulog?
Well, we all experienced nga dito ta sa SRP for the very first time. I believe the reason nga ato dito ni Mayor Makrama, one is if we conducted it sa Abiliana, because months before that, there was a concert. And tanaw gid namo nga nagay stampede mahitabo ba? And a major event to happen again, dili nimo mapugnan ang mga tao ba, nana ba? So mao na akong nakita ang adto gibuhat dito sa SRP. But again, there were issues to use the term lapok and ana ba, but natiwas man ito na humando will, of course, in the very first namo ginay I would say mga major improvements pagabuhaton, and we've learned our lesson. We have to prepare early. And of course, pasalamat ni kang Engineer Dakay, kay Sergio nangunay gud adto, again, iyang company. So, what to expect? I think mas daghan na ang mga PIL. And si Mayor Mike Rama, from what I understand, I think bura na siya sinulog sa Cebu, Philippines. Bura kay major events ba siya leading to sinulog.
So, much bigger than last year, for sure.
Yes, much bigger than last year.
Okay. Maybe delving more sa imong political life. What made you decide to venture sa politics?
Actually, 2015, 2016, nabisita na si Mayor Tom sa among balay dito kay my grandfather, o akong father used to work for them. And I was asked, ngayon ko, sir, wag you go na sir kay napakoy career sa PBA. Then when they found out that I would be retiring 2018, so he sent me an invitation. Of course, si Mayor Mike Rama. So imagine Mayor Tamias Menya and Mayor Mike Rama ga-invite na ako pareho ba. And yeah, pareho sila gingon doon. We don't want you to be a politician. We want you to be you. You'll be part of the youth and sports development. Of course, before I retired for 3-4 years, conduct of basketball camps with the purpose really of providing opportunities sa mga bata, not only skills but also the right attitude to make it big. And I was invited many times pa. Then, I would say an offer, but there's an invitation. Gingnan ka dong, it's time for you to give back sa community. And yes, mo na, katilagingon na we don't want you to be a politician, we want you to help us with youth and sports. So that's the reason, and mo na, so involved kay ko, inana, and when I won, gi-appeal ko sa, in fact, I was named chairman sa Committee on Scholarships.
When you won, number one man ka, no, in terms of votes.
Yes,
so you got the highest number of votes sa pagka-councilor.
Yes, pagka-councilor.
Okay.
So, but gingnan jud ko ni Mayor Mike Rama nga dong kanang nailhan naman ka, make sure you promote your party mates. And well, I've grown to be team player man jud ko, ana ba. So mo na ako jud gi-promote sa akong mga kauban, and burag na hog sa campaign man isa.
But so far you're enjoying the job. What are your realizations? Because I think politics can be very dirty, it can be frustrating.
If you think about it,
as I witnessed, no, like you were explaining na nagibuhat, so it's like daghan gayaw-yaw.
Natural yun na.
Kuwang ang efforts.
Yes, it would be always like that. I mean, sa mga na maka-feel medyo ka nga di ma-appreciate. But it's okay. Realization. Dili na kadali na ba? If you make this ordinance or even approval or I mean request, di man dahil na mag-granted then. You have to take the proper...
Because na ay process, di ba?
Yes, yes.
It's not like siguro you were...
Sa private, di ba? Dali na kayo sa private.
In some aspects, kay mas less hierarchy.
Okay.
Or even I think in sports, like you can take over a game or
or
diba? Just hit a game winner. Dire kay daghan pa proseso.
Yes,
so there's red tape.
Yes. So going back, nag-enjoy ko. Yes, nag-enjoy ko. And kani I appreciate people from the private sector na nakabaw sila unsa akong committee and by that ko and mangutan na sila asa may pwede makadonate ani mga school supplies may nani and you know na ako sa committee on education and we refer them to schools, public schools na to, like for example mga mountain barangays, and makita nila nga asa pa sila makatabang as part of their corporate social responsibilities. So if I'm invited also to play a game, maingon sa jud ko unsa inyong CSR. So, mayroon sila, nani, can I connect you with a certain foundation nga among gisuportahan, kaning Santa Rita, and they went there. So, pagkita nila dito unsay need, again, kay ang city government, naman ay process kano sa ato maabot unsay ilang request, yes, and but dito, pag check nila, nag-order na may ani, makuan, then, ningon sila, we can help you with that. So, this is a company nga niadto dito. And in fact, they donated a huge amount as well. Then, ang maka-benefit ato ang mga bata from Santa Rita.
Okay.
So, nag-enjoy rasad.
So, you still have plans of seeking higher office or basin for mayor in the future?
Lisod ang trabaho sa mayor ba? Kita ako sa trabaho ni Mayor Mike. Well, when Mayor Tammy was then mayor, wa man jud ko kabisita niya only on his birthday that time. Pero si Mayor Mike, nakakuyog ko niya, sayo kay mo mata, and like naa siya walkthrough that he goes to certain barangays para ma-check niya along with several department heads. Lisod kay ang trabaho sa mayor ba, nana ba? Pero si Mayor Mike, when he asked me unsa akong gusto, niingon jud ka, sir, ako personally ganahan jud ko nga maka-coach or manage a team composed of players from the Visayas. Kay mao jud na ako nakata being a former player myself, and if you're given that opportunity, then sila maka-perform, then good for them. So ako given Mayor Mike Raman.
So how do you get people to come together in politics? Kay di ba naman jud na may kontra partido, or how do you get things done if daghag mo oppose ba? How do you unite?
Well, the only time I remember that I unite the minority and majority was when I was kay ni Saka man ko pagka vice mayor when our
there was a time you served as
for 7
vice
months. Mayor. For 7 months. And crucial kay tubay kay aside sa kuan na to, there was typhoon. Remember that?
That was devastating.
Devastating.
For us.
And I was still part of the NOAA then sa medical purpose vaccination program. But then typhoon came and onsa na to. So niana man mi nga we have to release this budget kay for the need gyud inana ba. And nang mga tanapos minority mo man yung proposal sa executive department. Unsa man inyong kinahanglan nga itangtang ana para maka-move forward na ta. So naa sila nakuan din diri mi sa majority kani okay na mo ani. Okay, we have to approve that because on a calendar year by December unsa to kinahanglan na gyud to mabang sa gavel nga ni-agree na ang minority and majority nga mao ni ang budget nga i-release for this, i-release for that. And imagine we had our session kay wa man pa to'y suga diri.
Wala.
That,
Kuryente, tubig, gasolina.
Gasolina tanan. So we had our sessions initial session dito sa country club. Then in terms okay na for approval na to, then amo jud himo ang bangin the gavel diri gyud sa session nga bahalag ka nang papamatay aircon tingali. So more to ko na duman that amo ang gimit ang minority and majority nga kani ato gini siyang i-approve. And of course there were some things nga natangtang nakadungog nga na offense sa ako ang gibuhat, but we have to do that na ba.
Recently, grabe kay atong traffic situation, and recently sige uwan, grabe ang baha. How would we address the flood issue?
Well,
like diba natoy mga jokes sa social media.
Singapore.
Yeah.
Singapore
manahimo nag-resort, even guys sa anong country mall.
From what I
understand, atong drainage problem.
Nga na may gibuhat si Mayor Mike Rama with regards sa kanang task force sa baha. Na siya, in fact, he invited General Simato, and part of it as well is naman tayo mga informal settlers na diha dapita, and then aside sa mga cleanup drive, it's not enough. It should be a shared responsibility. But again, there has been movements. Gimit, I wasn't here. Gimit na ni Vice Mayor because Vice Mayor Raymond was with the DPW, DPWH, and na timing sa to katong pagahitabua nga naay gihimo nga process ang mall ato that time. Mo na grabe kay ang buhos sa baha ato inana but yes, part of it dako ginang pagabuhaton namo, so it's a challenge that we're doing.
Okay. Siguro we can delve more on a lighter note sa imong personal journey. How was your childhood, or were you born in Cebu? What was your journey going to the PBA?
Taga-Basak Pardo gyud ko bay, and the son of a policeman and a policewoman.
Police, both
pareho
parents.
Sila police. Og akong lolo sad na police dito siya before. So he served mayor that time. Then I've been a basketball fan good. So as early as 8 years old. So by grade 6, 1989, I don't know kung nataw na ka na.
That's my birth year.
Wow! That's your birth year. So 1989, I was a 12-year-old kid. For 11 pa akong height ato. And naami paper ato gi-ask ba, in a way it was buragay unsa imong dream inana ba niyo ko. By year 2000 we were asked, where will you be or what would you be by the year 2000? So ako ato ni kay faith lagi sa bata nya ako hili kay basketball, akong ingon dito, by then I will be in the PBA. So as a 4'11 kid, so ang nakabawra adto ang teacher nga mobasa ug ang teacher nga mobasa ug ako. But then for whatever reason ay nakabasa lain, niingon ba sila nga, oy, ikaw kagamay nimo ma-PBA pa ka. So I wouldn't say gibuli, pero burag na joke ba. But for me, I use it as motivation. And eventually na ako growth spurt sa high school.
So late bloomer ka, late ka ni tubo.
Ni tubo ko. But surprisingly, first year high school na 5'2", second year na 5'5", third year ni 5'8", then pag-graduate na ako sa high school, fourth year, which is nisaka akong kumpiyansa, kay kamaon ako muduwa sa Diod, nag 5'11 ko. But I injured my left hand during warm-ups pag yun, kay na-feel man ako, nakoy chance. The only way for me to make it big is to try out sa Manila. That's the next thing. That's the best thing to do, which is to go to college there in Manila. Buragay kung sa pagkaon ka by dool na ka sa luwag, inana ba? So, maura na dito akong chance, but I injured my forearm. Then I stayed here college. So, diri ko nagduwa. Then eventually, I was given a break sa University of Cebu, and I played there for 3 years. Then NBA came. Mo na to ang Metropolitan Basketball. NBA. So 9 years old na kaadto, and dito namin nailhan.
Okay. But when did you realize na jud kay talent sa basket?
Dili ko
When did
makaingon.
you realize na I can make it big, I can make it to the pros?
Dili ko maingon na ako'y talent, but I believe that I have that work ethic to compete and to improve. So nakita na ko tingali pagka grade school, I'm just more of a defensive player, kanang active person. Then akong giingon nga, for me to have a chance, I should be an asset to any team. So when you want to be an asset, you have to be good at something. So naay ring sa Don Bosco, if makabisita mo rito, naay ring sa Don Bosco, napay ring sa sod. So bura ganay gamay na kay siya nga buslot ba, and dito ko mag-practice. Eventually I feel good, makashot na ko. Then I do that during lunch breaks or after class, and I was impressed by this. Pag first year high school na ako, impressed by this father. His name is Father Langiao. Father Catechist na mo nga maay kay muduwa nga player ni ana gugugod nga ako tingay mo first nga pare nga PBA player. Kay nakita na ko ba iyang interaction with the youth, how he inspires the kids like ako. Ikahuman klase sa Don Bosco is into sports. Dagang ko kay green sa Don Bosco. Dagang kayo. So ako, na-inspire ko sa iyang life. And I even told myself, ako may permero nga pare, di nga player. So, but yeah, something happens in life. So yeah. Going back sa imong question, when did I find out nga nako'y talent is dito sa high school sa Don Bosco.
High school. Okay. Who are your role models or your idols in
aside
basketball?
Sa akong
or
parents,
ang pag-pattern sa imong game?
Game. Okay.
Like imong playing style. Where did you derive that from?
Well, I've always envisioned myself to be a shooting guard, sometimes a point guard, but dream man jud nako ma-PBA. So I was looking for a guy like looking up like Samboy Lim, Ricky Brown, but ganahan ko sa charisma ni Robert Jaworski.
Jaworski.
Yeah, he connects.
Legend.
Yeah, he connects to the people, and I remember the first time that I was behind their bench. May burakag ka nang mahikap mo. Galang ko Kanay naro ko sluyo ba din,
Nataha.
Nakuan ka ba? So, his charisma is something else. Then, yeah, going back, akong gipattern akong game, kang Samboy, then eventually, Verhel Meneses, Kenneth Duremdes, those two guards, Jeffrey Carriazo, and eventually I became a teammate of Jeffrey Carriazo. It's mo na akong, diha na siya sa local, but of course, we all know, sa NBA, si Michael Jordan, and Kobe, yes.
For you, si Jordan, LeBron, or Kobe? Kinsa imong top choices?
Sila na lang talo.
Diba? There's a debate between the three kung kinsa yung greatest. Yeah.
Right now, statistically, it's LeBron.
No,
statistically. Yeah. Of course, the rings is with Michael Jordan, kay 6-0 siya. And there's a debate, ang mga nakontra ni Jordan before is the same ba of level of competition that LeBron
argument,
faced. Yes, maunang argument. So let's just make them, they're both great and they inspire other people to be great as well.
Okay. Being an athlete before, how do you stay fit? Unsay conditioning nimo? Diet? Or even now, how do you stay in shape? Diet, exercise,
when I was still
workout?
Playing, it's kinahanglan jud nga workout, and then for me to stay in shape, later parts sa akong career, I retired 40. I played for 20 years.
Until 40.
Until 40.
Murag si COVID 20 years. Around 40. So.
Around 40, So, ang ako yun to, I remember Olsen, the last 2 years that he played, ningon siya, never stop learning. So, even 38, 39 na siya, ang iyang excitement going to practice, kaya kung imong i-treat mo siya og trabaho, kapuyan juga ba. But if you go to practice with the intention of what will I learn or what
natural
area,
ang passion.
What area of my game would I grow or bisag later parts sa among career is you go to practice excited ba. So mao ta akong excitement of in a way na translate dire nga kapadong office unsa man akong makatunan. So I think your question was unsa akong gibuhat is to stay in shape. And karon nakita mo gud ako when before I retire, some players nga retired, manambok na sila ba? Because
silang shock, no? Charles Barkley.
the same ang ilang kaon, but the activity
wala na.
minus na.
Sedentary.
Yes,
mas relaxed.
burag dili na priority ba? So ako, of course, may times nga 1 meal a day or intermittent fasting yun ko, but I make sure nga I do some exercises 3 times a week. And up to now, 46 years old na ko, I still get invitation to play. Kay wa man na nako nabuhat when I was still playing. Kanang gitawag nila nga panalay ba or bawal mong yun na siya. For a PBA player kay you have a contract man.
So now you can
I can do that kay wa na mo
invitations.
contract, but before there were offers I cannot do it kay kuan man imong contract. Like for example, simba ko if na-injured ka to, and na-injured ka outside of practice and team, dili man ka guba pa imong terminate pa imong contract. So for the longest time that I played for the PBA, wala ko niduaan ng mga panalay. Karon na-retire na ko and naka-benefit ko that because I stayed in shape, I still get invited to play. Dili lang exhibition games sa tournament, goodbye tournament.
So how often do you play like in a month? Well, given now, mas busy na ka being a counselor.
There was 1 month that I played 12 games. Imagine. 12 games. And there was even days, like in a span of 5 days, 4 days that I played 8 games. Kaya na may duha na adlaw nga, duha ka duha sa usa ka adlaw. 1 in the morning, 1 in the night.
But being 46, mas pamaol na, mas unsa.
Binood, nagay pamaol, but well, good thing I'm taking good care of my body and say lisod naman ta og pahuway, but I make sure as well nga to take the proper nutrition.
You can still jump high, dunk, and
kung mubo ang ring, like sa bantayan, ni-request mo ang mga tao nga padangkon ko niya. 9.5 man tingin ito.
Not the 10 feet.
10 feet man. Makaabot ko layat sa 10 feet, pero kato kay 9 captain. So nakadang ko, palipay lang sa tao ba nga nitanaw sa duwa.
What would you say is the strongest and weakest part sa imong game? For I know, marag well-rounded man noon jud ka na player. Like you're known for defense, 3 points, and you can drive and you can shoot. So
yeah, strongest probably would my kanang I guess defense. I would say I was underrated.
Underrated.
Kaya mas nakita
defense.
nila akong offense kaysa sa akong defense, and that I would tell the kids nga or karon kay consultant man ko sa University of Cebu kaning college team na mo. Sometimes players or most of the times mga bata mong god ganahan din makita ang ilang pangan sa newspaper sa luyo. Di ba pila ilang points. I think they would agree
usually,
to that.
Mo na
Yes.
Giapas nila.
But amo silang ingnan nga kibaw mo there would be games nga I didn't score a lot, but gamiton ko sa coach because of my defense and preparation for the game plan na ba nga ma-implement, ma-apply yun. So ako silang tudloan other facets of the game that the coaches appreciates.
Uban kay puntos
Score lang,
scoring only.
yes. So mauna akong strengths. Weaknesses, of course, I'm an emotional player as well. Madalas ako sa emotions, but for the most fair part, I remember natawagan man sa ko, nahatagan man sa ko og sportsmanship award. So I think na-control sa tunako. But yeah, one of that weaknesses is I work too hard to the point of really exhausting myself. That
overtrained.
Yes, overtrained. There was a time na overtrained ko. And the reason na nag-ACL ko at that time, na ACL tear. So I had a surgery and
you teared your Achilles? Same knee.
ACL. Knee.
Okay, sorry. Knee.
So I muna akong weaknesses is I really go hard at workout, not knowing there's a process for that. So.
What would you say was the ultimate highlight sa imong 20 years playing professional?
Aside from winning a championship, it's playing for the national team. When you play for the national team, there's a fulfillment of being, or you consider you're one of the best, because in that position you played that position, and daghan man jud kay maayo mo duwa bay, daghan jud kay maayo nga shooter. And I remember in high school, for me to be part of a team, I have to be an asset. And for me to make the team, either I'm one of the best or better perimeter defender, but as well can space the floor with my shooting or being a threat. So, yeah, mauna siya ang kanang, I would say, highlight of being a player is to play for the national team.
What about championship? Which championship meant the most or was
Answer
extra
kayo kung
special?
special ang kuan ba?
Or same ra?
Yeah, every championship is always special. Kay moingon man jud kabay nga the hard work paid off because you invested everything. Not all the time daog man mi kapila namin na second placer sa San Miguel and heartache din na every time, but it's how you bounce back. Again, we made it to the final the next conference, but the process of enjoying the pain of losing and to get back to practice the very next day or the next weeks is brag something na-enjoy gud nako. Lahi jud kay nang mapildi ka bay, ma-down ka bay, and makaingon ka ba sayang nga sa bonus exactly. Diba sayang nga sa bonus but then again you're grateful because you still have a job. I mean, you can still play, you still have a team. So mo na ikaw magpildi maguna na ka bitaw na pa mo chance makaduwa natin ko pero duwa lang yap.
How did you handle pressure moments, like when the game's on the line? How do you ensure na you're well prepared in games?
Naagi games ba nga wa ko ka perform, but again I will go back.
Kanang di ba uban isaway na ni choke?
Naagi ba na by how did you prepare? Part of it is maybe you were not 100% in preparation, meaning for practices, like for example, if you have a game on Friday, this is a regular season game or even finals, we prepared na ba? If brag nani, you gain confidence by the amount of time you invested during practice. And whatever happens during the game, na-practice naman na nimo.
So it boils down to preparation.
Yeah, preparation.
Para di na ka magkurog-kurog or ma-nervous.
Yes.
Okay.
But you have to be ready kay ang imong gigandaman might not happen man sad. Or mas grabe pa ba? Labi na mga maayo jud kay imong kontra na ba.
Biggest disappointment during your playing career?
Well, losing the finals is always a disappointment. But in a way, it's constant. Itawag turning point nimo kay it builds something in you ba? Do you still want to continue playing? Do you still want to go through the same process? Ano ba? So in a way, disappointment is losing.
Okay. You also have a son, right, who's playing now? Isaiah. How's mentoring him? How's his journey in basketball?
Well, he had a good high school career, and I was hoping that he'll make it sa Lasal. Yes, he made it, but he wasn't given the chance, the opportunity. So he decided to go back. And Montiwas sa eskwela dire. He played for 3x3 chooks to go. Nag-practice siya. And though, unfortunately, they lost to the qualifying sa Laguna. Mo na ang ni-represent sa Philippines isang team nila Macmac Talio. On mentoring him, I like the process of being a mentor. I'm a strict coach.
Stricto ka.
Stricto ko. There was even a time when he was still in high school, when they won the championship, leading to that, there would be, after practice, nga ikahuman, ikapadung na mo guli, nga di mi magstorya, kay na ako'y masulti, na, I would say, baragay...
Masakitan siya.
Masakitan ang... masakitan ang kuhan, masakitan siya. Yeah. But again, fair man ko, na if I see that there's something I compliment, I would do that. But if I see that there's need of a correction, the attitude of the player, the execution of the player, ako man dyan nang isulti. So, there would be days yun nga, usay, gikan mas practice, di ni mag-istorya.
Or maglalis po na say days that
Yes, nasay.
you have those heated confrontations back and forth.
Secret.
Okay. Secret.
Yeah, nasay yan na ba? I think when you're both competitive.
Yeah, father and son dynamics.
Father and son
I
dynamic.
think that's natural. No?
Yeah, that's natural. Oh, yeah.
I noticed you have a photo with Kobe.
Yes.
What was it like guarding Kobe?
Ang katawanan pa dyan na bay, gailog mi kinsay mo bantay ni Kobe. So, there's one great shooter as well, si Marshall Lassiter. Naglalis mi, let me guard Kobe. No, I'm guarding Kobe. Of course, ako man ang maguwang. Ako may nasunod, dinana ba. So, but the picture was really buragay mindot jud kay bay burag worth remember.
Yeah.
This was the time of the lockout season man. So they were allowed to play. So the day before ang ilang kontra ang PBA selection kay ako part man ko of the national team that time. So the day before niingon ko ni Dol ko ni Kobe halftime niingon ko Kobe, can I take a picture? Because tomorrow I will be playing against you guys and I cannot take a picture. And he said, sure. So, moto, nakakuha ko picture. Then, leading to the game, when we were being introduced, idol na sa kuniya, can I have your jersey? Sure, niya na siya. But after the game, so, yung yubo ang jersey ba? And
I was told by your staff na daw kay jersey niya and your driver got his shoes.
And akong driver pag Kobe Day gito na mo, kaya akong driver nakakuha sa usa ka sapatos ni Kobe. And yeah, memorable kayo. So again, guarding Kobe was like one of your dreams, di ba? So
but I think you guarded him quite well because I think he missed the shot.
0 out of 1.
No, he missed it.
Nasipiat yung tira. So, murag kasi tawag ni, kung na yung mag-story party Kobe, maminaw sila na ako kay...
Okay, you were successful in that one exchange.
More good. Yeah.
Okay, so extra special.
Extra
Karon,
special.
now he's gone,
yes,
of course.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Any other new ventures? I understand nag-coach man sa day ka na for a time. How's the journey as a coach?
Well,
for the Phoenix.
Yeah. During the time of
Phoenix Super LPG,
yes,
diba?
Coach Topek was then the head coach. And during that time, I was moving as acting vice mayor and councilor. And that time, when our session was online, it was an opportunity for me nga makaadto gyud dito sa bubble tournament sa PBA. So I stayed there for a month sa hotel sa Clark, and the coaching it was what I expected. Of course, you share your experience with the younger guys. So when I was part of the coaching staff sa Phoenix, one of the assignment was to mentor their star player, si Matthew Wright, because offensively, he's our go-to guy. And coach said nga, mas maayo said nga, ako makastorya kay I play the same position and I put emphasis also on defense. So there would be games nga mo click din siya gyud dinana ba. And kami mga coaches magod kibaw na magud ang mga players. For us lang to constantly remind them their other responsibilities sila na ba. So being a coach, it's for me fulfilling because you get to share your experiences with them, added knowledge for them, and ang goal mo gid sa coach is for their players to get better. Of course, ganahan mo gid ma-champion ang team, no? And for their players to get better, eventually the team would be successful. Though we didn't make it, kay ligon mo jud kay uban kontra, but the experience itself is, I would say, fulfilling.
So that was your first coaching experience?
Sa professional. Sa high school or sa amateur was with my son pag 2018. So consultant ko sa UC, both high school and college. Among high school team ato won the championship. It was the first time in 10 years nga ni champion ang UC sa high school. The last time nga ni champion ang UC Si Roger Pugoy, one of our national team players from Talisay, high school pa siya sa UCLA before. So, mga among akong first experience ito coaching.
What's your coaching style? Are you very detailed with dealing with players? Do you do one-on-ones or?
Naasad. If nakita na namo ang player needs development with that na nga padung na sa professional or even bisag sa college, ganahan give me detailed. But for beginners, because I had a camp as well, and karon nahunong lang because of my responsibilities, but I've been invited before to conduct camps. Of course, na kay basic, you want to check who has improved, or na chance nga mahimong college player. So, Pablo. So, mao na ang among kwan. Buraganig, yes, I can be detailed because I've experienced that. Nakita na nako na unsa ang ways for a player to get better.
Okay. Any other interests or hobbies? New ventures na you're entering, maybe marathons or cycling, di ba? Ironman challenge.
Yes, ganahan jud ko anang Ironman bay, but ganahan pa man gud ko muduwa. So I don't want to put stress sa akong legs.
Yeah.
I don't want to put stress sa akong legs. So what I did is during the pandemic, I had a friend from Dubai who stayed here for a period of months, and nakuha nako siya as casual employee nako or co-terminus, and he's good in tennis. So nag-tennis ako.
I also play tennis. Unsa pa day other sports you play?
Maora mo gyud tingali gyud nga nakamao na jud ko tennis.
Tennis.
They say as you get older kuno magagamay ang bola nga imong duaan. So from basketball to volleyball nakaduwa ko, then tennis. So yeah.
Okay. Delving more on spirituality, what are your spiritual or religious views? Are you God-fearing? Or
growing up in a Catholic setup, yun, akong parents or akong lola o akong mama, ganahan yun sila nga mapari ko. Kaya na ako
So, hapit ka mapari?
Sa Don Bosco, I tried Barangay orientation seminar, or in a way orientation of a life of a brother pa to, or seminarian in ano ba. So gipasuway ko adto, and moto nakita lagi to nako ang si Fatherland nga nakaingon ko nga brag ako tay mo first nga pare. But yeah, it's I grew up in of course kita tanan Catholic tradition, and went to Catholic school, USJR, Don Bosco, and USJR, balik First Year College, and eventually UC. So, dagang ko nakatunan, of course, from my parents, and of course, sa mga pare nga akong gilook up, and pero ni decide nga magpare.
What's your general outlook in life, or do you have any philosophy you go by in life, or a life motto?
A life motto.
Or something you adhere to that shaped your overall worldview?
I think dito na develop na siya sa Don Bosco. In every school, I think they have amo sa Don Bosco is Ardua non temio, fear no hardship. So whatever situation that you face, you always learn something from it. And na-apply na ko siya in a way in life, especially sa career na ko. When I got injured the first time and I was able to recover from it, and good things happened after that. Then I got injured again, and I felt, I experienced this before already. Rejection or injury bring you positive thing as well. Then when I got injured again, when I was already 34 years old, kung ma-injured ka na ACL that time, some would retire. But I experienced it before already. So ngayon ko bitaw, fear no hardship. Enjoy this process of rehab. Sakit kay na. But again, eventually ako rin po yung maka-benefit. And yeah, I played for 6 more years after. I played for the national team. I was team captain in 2015. And yeah, to enjoy the process, even if it's rejection.
So it's about the journey.
Yeah. kanang giingon nila, trust the process ni Joel Embiid. I think people
Or it's the
already-
journey, not the destination.
Exactly. The reward is the journey, the process.
But how do you stay motivated to move forward? Like you went through injuries, rejections. Where do you find that drive to keep going?
If you don't do it, you won't be able to make an example to other kids. And then I would tell them, there would be times na kanang naingon ba nga kaniganing, bay, nasipiat ni mong free throw, napasangilan ka o game fixing, inana ba? Kung di ko mutuo na. Okay, kibaw mo ko sa akong kagalingon. And in fact, the team knows that I'm not part of it. So ako silang ingnan. Kay wa man ko nisud anang mga butanga, even if I miss the free throw of a crucial game, expiry akong contract, I'm 37 or 38 years old. Alaska still offered me a fresh 1-year contract na dako gyapon sweldo because I invested at an early age being in the right position ba. So nganong motivated ko is I can still help, I can still grow. And
So helping others and growth.
Yeah.
Also leaving a legacy, or
well, I think we all do.
of course,
We all do.
leaving something behind.
Leaving something behind. Kay I was once inspired by a person, and the only way to pay it forward is hopefully you get to inspire mga bago sa mga bata ba.
On a more personal note, how's family life? Being a dad,
Juggling.
being a husband.
Juggling, nana ba? But yeah, they all know I'm passionate about my work, and they understand that. And right now, kasabot sila nga malate ko sa dinner because of the interview. Ako magiging late mo naman session yan commit mo ko sa interview nana, but yeah, they're very understanding.
Okay. What can you say about our present generation now? Because now, atong kalibutan, it's becoming very chaotic. Social media, daghag fake news, TikTok generation, murag values have gone down also, and there's so much turmoil also. Inflation, economic uncertainty. What can you say about our present generation and the changing times we live in?
Well, it's
Changing for the bad also. Nasa'y good, but there's also bad.
it's challenging. Well, ato before, magawa mo na ko nimo.
Yeah.
Challenging na to before, pero less distraction. I think ang pinaka-kuha na to dito is family computer man to pinaka-kontra na gitingay sa ginikanan. Kay kung wa kay klase, sports ka. Ako, I would say, na-disiplina dyan ko sa kong kuhan. Well, lahi, gid kong imong magpapapulis, no? So, but I was motivated. I was dream sa mga ato. Basta goal-oriented ito ato ba? So, karon I would say, daghang kay distraction. So, it's very challenging for this generation to reach their dreams. Di man ta, naamong uban nga maabot yun silang damgo. It's how they were raised. It's the environment that they're in, and from the city government or from whatever, you have to provide a safe space or unsa gani. But again, easy access to everything. Dili na mo
instant na tanan butang.
And then sometimes, mo na ako nakatanan before is that delayed gratification. That, for example, during the time when I was still playing, may nga siya, tara, gimmick ta dito, kay daghang mga kung dito, but know that, if mupahuway ko karon, then I'll be 100% tomorrow's practice, tomorrow's game.
Staying disciplined, no? That work ethic.
Work ethic. So makayon ko challenging, but once they get their acts together, or kanaging makuha gid nila ang sa sakto, then eventually they'll be the next leader.
I think now people tend to get things easily, especially the younger generation, that they don't work as hard na. Or lahi na
Dili sa tamayon not work as hard.
Or lahi na ang priorities.
Yes, lahi na priorities. Like, for some, dili sila maayo sa education, but they're good at something. which adto sila mo invest, like for example entertainment or even other talent.
Different fields, different crafts.
Yes. So mo na kami nangita sa nga bitaw mo support nila kay mao man gyud ang ilang asa
Linya.
sila maayo ilang line nana ba. But for kids these days or even kuan mas challenging yun sila kay daghang kay distraction. But then again, when you see distraction, there's also a ton of possibilities or opportunities. It's really up to them asa man ang tugingon nga low-lying fruit that they would benefit from it. So, but of course, on building their character, it's up to the environment that they're in, and of course, ilang pamilya, and of course, their circle, their core group.
So, family. Is still
and also, ang
important.
ikaw sad personally is what do you want to achieve in another. So, whatever distractions, I guess, makaya ra.
Yeah, okay. Recently, we went through Odette, diba? Well, 2021 and a pandemic. What are some realizations on your part?
Lisod ba yun? Lisod good. Kay, there will be times like pila ko ka hours out, wala sa balay and nakasabot ra ang pamilya ba?
Yeah.
Nana ba? But I was given the task and I was passionate about unsa ang gipabuhat nila mayor, and even the pandemic, there's no handbook to handle things. You have to learn it. You have to learn as
Personal journey.
Di juga makaton ba?
Sa actual experience.
Yeah, actual
it's
experience.
Not in a book. You have to live through it.
I remember ako may in charge sa logistics at sa canned goods and everything. And of course, among responsibility ra adto kung unsay maabot nga mga karton sa dilata, noodles or unsa pa to na kami rin mag-andam. And to do that during the time of pandemic, you have to produce this much packs and moadto ditong mga barangay. Lisod kami, it was my first time really to experience that. Wa ko kabaw nga maabot ang kanang barangay pero dili nila schedule nga day to get their pack, but how for them to huwat lang sa muka pa kay nana ba, so pasabto nimo sila in some, so daghan jud kay kog nakatunan. And again, ako siya bahalag kapoy siya pero akong ginon ako'y nakatunan karong adlaw ako siya ginanaon ba. Kaya di ko ma-stress.
Yeah. But now not too stressed out.
Lingar
so worthwhile ra ang journey.
So, and in fact, it was my first time to miss a session. For the past 4 years, what ko ka-miss a session. The first time was
Tag-as
2 weeks.
Mga session.
Tag-as kayo, di ba?
Pila ka oras? 3, 4 hours?
Katora kay crucial mga kayo.
Depends on the issue.
Yeah, depends on the issue because there was a public hearing for atong carbon market development. But going back, naka-relax ko when I went to New Zealand because I was invited to play and we were asked to be with the Filipino communities in New Zealand. So take this opportunity as well to thank our Filipino communities in New Zealand who invited us. Naka-relax ko dito gamay and get to enjoy relax ng life. Relax mo gyapon karon.
Regarding Cebu, wala by plans magka-subway or more developments ba sa infrastructure? Kay I noticed now it's very hard to get around. Grabe ka, time consuming. If you talk about
subway, isip pa dyan kayo na siya, di ba? I think
or monorail or di ba naman to'y bus, BRT ba to ang plan recently?
Yes, BRT and there's plan of other modes of transportation diya sa SRP. Nga may tabo na lang mag-abot sila sa SRP, like even like you're outside the city and mag-abot diya sa SRP, then diha na ang mga feeder lines going to the city. So naaman, but again I'm not part of the regional council for that, but I've heard nga naay mga improvement, of course, transportation.
What about more on sa personal regarding in diet? Do you try any specific diets or IF lang, or you eat
Well, there was
anything
a
in
time
moderation?
There was a time I didn't eat for 36 hours.
Para unsa cleansing?
Yeah, cleansing kay nakaingon mo ko like ang fasting makatabang siya, and when I played sa Bukidnon, isuway ko wala ko nag-rice for pila ka days, and I still feel good, nakaduwa pa ako, kaya man din ako, of course, na magbasa man sa kog libro, inana ba, wa pa na ko nahuman the monk who sold his Ferrari, wa pa ko nahuman, kang Ruben Sharma. So in a way, reflection and ma-improve imong imong in a way imong spiritual life. So wala akong diet is more intermittent fasting, but if
How many hours ka nag-fasting?
well, mulapas magyud ko mga saman. Kumukaon ko karon, kaon ko alas 7, alas 8. Next meal would be after lunch.
Okay.
So, dugay-dugay gid siya. Inaanad na akong lawas na inaanad.
Did you start recently or back in your playing days pa ni?
No. Kuan na. Katong naghinay na akong mga duwa, especially during the time of pandemic. Wa man kay duwa to, inaanad. Basta naanad na. Eventually, mauna gid naanad na lawas.
What about kining series, movies, TV shows? Are you?
I used to watch a lot of Netflix. Kanang
Which shows stand out for you?
I forgot the title. Katuging sa abogado, mga
How to Get Away with Murder?
No.
or Suits? Kana?
Suits, yes.
Suits.
Na addict sa got away kay
During COVID, kay
yes.
ECQ, di ba? More at home, more time at
pero
home.
karon more on reading books.
What books have you been reading? Or any books you'd like to recommend?
Before, mga books ni Dan Brown, katong nahimo ng movie.
Da Vinci Code?
Da Vinci Code.
Yeah.
Kato, tanang libro na nabasa na nako. Dan Brown. So, na-suspense and karon katong lamang ko sold his Ferrari. And karon nag-check sa kubalik sa pamuginan ako na kuan ba sa kanang local government code. Para aware na ba like certain things nga pwede buhaton sa council.
Okay. Any parting message you'd like to say to whoever will be watching this? Maybe imong fans sa una or Cebuanos or even Filipinos kay basin maabot sa in other parts of Cebu. I mean other parts of the Philippines.
Well, thank you for this opportunity.
Yes, and thank you.
And I've always been grateful of the support I received when I was still playing. And eventually, that turned out to be votes when I ran for public office 2019 and 2022. They would saying, I still have a lot to improve on, and I admit that. I'm still a work in progress to be one of your public servants. But I'm just grateful for other people as well, especially sa private sector na kibaw sila ang among office ready makatabang or facilitate any activities that relate to different sectors. Grateful kay ko sa opportunity nga gihatag diri sa ni Mayor Mike Rama sa Aqua or even ako mga party mates nga gihatagan ko nila other things to work on and improve on. And sa mga ni-support na ako, salamat jud kayo. And again, I'm always grateful for what I receive. It might be in a form of rejection. It might be a form of anything that, as I mentioned earlier, I think there's a verse in the Bible that says, "Good things work together for the good of those who love you." So it might be bad, or it might not be something that you'd expect it to happen, but I always look at it as in a way. Kanang makatabang gyapon ako in the future that always learn something about it. And yeah, so of course grateful ko sa akong parents, sa akong support sa akong family, and grateful sa akong staff was very much proactive So, yeah, and to the Filipino communities all over the world, itong mga modern day heroes, na-appreciate din mo sila kay buragin mo yung artista ba, pag-anto na mo dito. And we were being treated well. So, kana.
Yes, thank you so much sa opportunity, for your time.
Yes.
And good luck sa future endeavors and sa imong journey
Yeah.
moving forward. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.